On a frosty November night in Millfield, Ohio, the small town was winding down after the high school football game. The streets lay still, save for the occasional pickup truck rumbling past. The distant drone of police cruisers patrolled the quiet, their headlights slicing through the chill. Across from the weathered Millfield police station, next to Joe's Diner, an elderly man huddled on a cracked sidewalk under a frayed blanket. He had no bedroll, no belongings, just a beat-up duffel bag, an old Nokia flip phone, and scuffed work boots. His name was Samuel Carter, around 75, his face carved with deep lines from a life of service. His eyes, though, burned with a quiet fire, a spark from days when his word could hush a room. That night he was silent, bone-tired, maybe sick, or just lost in thought. A police SUV pulled up, its red and blue lights flashing across the diner's neon sign. Out stepped Officer Mike Donovan, a stocky cop with a buzz cut and a no-nonsense edge. "Hey, buddy, you can't sleep here," he snapped, his breath fogging in the cold. Samuel eased back his blanket, sat up, and fixed Mike with a steady, unflinching gaze. He didn't speak. Mike's jaw tightened. "What's with the stare? You hard of hearing? Move it, or you're spending the night in a cell." Two younger officers nearby smirked. "Check out this guy," one chuckled. "Thinks he's camping out by the station." Samuel stayed quiet. He slipped on his boots, slung his duffel over his shoulder, and said softly, "All right, son, I'll move. Just need to make one call." Mike snorted, leaning against the SUV. "Sure, call your book club. You got 2 minutes to hit the road." Samuel pulled out his clunky phone, dialed, and spoke 3 words. "It's time. Precinct 19. He snapped it shut. Mike laughed, shaking his head. "What's that, old man? Calling for a ride from Mars?" But within 10 minutes, the street roared to life. A black sedan screeched to a halt, followed by a patrol car with a flashing red beacon. The smirking officers froze, their grins fading. Chief Laura Bennett, a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s, stepped out of the sedan, followed by Detective Tom Riley. A name echoed in their hushed voices. "Sir, we're so sorry. We didn't know it was you." Mike's baton slipped from his grip, clattering on the pavement. His knees buckled, and he sank before Samuel. "Sir, I had no idea. Please forgive me." The precinct stood in stunned silence. The man they'd pegged as a drifter was now, Sir Samuel Carter, former director of the Ohio State Police, a legend whose name once sent crooks running. There he stood in a faded denim jacket and worn boots, duffel at his side, facing officers who'd mocked him moments before. Chief Laura stepped forward, her voice tight. "Sir, we didn't recognize you, looking like this. We screwed up." Samuel's eyes softened, but his words cut deep. "That's exactly why I'm here." Detective Riley, shifting uncomfortably, asked, "Sir, why'd you do this?" A faint smile crossed Samuel's weathered face, carrying a question heavier than the night. "Have we stopped seeing people as people?" Flashback. A year earlier, Samuel had walked away from his storied career, heartbroken by a system that put badges over compassion. He'd lost a friend years ago, a homeless vet ignored by police until it was too late. That loss fueled a quiet mission, to walk unnoticed among the ordinary, testing the heart of the force he'd once shaped. Back in the present, Samuel's voice was low, steady, like a blade through fog. "You didn't disrespect me. You disrespected a citizen, someone you thought was nothing. Never forget, not every guy on the street is nobody. Some could turn your whole world upside down." Mike, still on his knees, choked back tears. "Sir, I'm so sorry. I was in your training class back in '98. I should have known better. I've gone blind." Samuel stepped closer, gripped Mike's shoulder, and pulled him to his feet. "Learning beats punishment any day. Change tonight, and that's the respect I want. Chief Laura's voice softened. Sir, we'd love for you to share this lesson at every station in the county. Samuel's smile returned, faint but firm. I'll come back, but don't expect a heads up. The real test happens when you don't know who's watching. Chief Laura, Detective Riley, and the precinct crew, once caught up in rank and routine, had just met a leader who commanded respect without a uniform. By morning, a sign stood outside the station. Human Dignity Day, first of every month. Every officer would treat each visitor, no matter their clothes or status, with respect and care. The inspiration? A framed photo of Samuel Carter asleep on the sidewalk under his blanket, captioned, "True strength doesn't need a spotlight." A week later, at the Ohio Police Academy in Columbus, hundreds of recruits filled a lecture hall. His words didn't just hang in the air, they sank into every heart on that sidewalk. LL. On stage stood the same old man, still in his faded jacket and jeans, his duffel by his side. Samuel's voice carried across the room. A uniform might get you respect, but only humanity keeps it. If you only salute the big shots, you're just wearing a costume, not leading. The hall was silent, every recruit lost in thought. Back in Millfield, another sign went up at the station. Every person who knocks is a citizen, not a nobody. Detective Riley, changed by that night, started asking one question before every report. Did we hear them out? One icy morning, a familiar scene played out. An old man sat outside Millfield General Hospital, his coat torn, his hands trembling. Passers-by sneered, some pulling out phones to film, hoping for a viral Facebook. A rookie officer, fresh from the academy, approached, knelt down and said quietly, "Sir, you okay? Let's get you inside." The crowd went quiet. The old man patted the rookie's shoulder. "Hope's still alive, kid. Hope's alive. Never judge a man by his coat. Sometimes the greatest soul wears the simplest threads." If this story touched your heart, share it to remind everyone. Kindness is the greatest badge of all.